Welcome to Worldwide Reds, the podcast. Tonight we're diving into the Memorabilia Masterclass. You're inside the guide to the world of football collectibles. We'll be breaking down how to spot a fake, the best places to buy cards, shirts, tips from experienced collectors, and of course answering your fans' questions live. That's if anyone's in. Plus, we've got a special show and tell segment where we'll be sharing some of our favourite pieces from our own collections. Stick around. This is one for every true Red and Memorabilia fan. How are we, boys? How's your day been? We've got a special guest in, Paul Bloxham, the man that has got a lot of memorabilia and not only just United stuff, but he's a big toy collector as well. How are we going?
Good.
All going good.
All going good. Are we excited for this one?
Yeah, this is a good one.
Yeah,
different. One word answers, thank you.
Yeah, let's get into it. No, I'm looking forward to seeing what the guys have got to show and tell.
It's quite nice because I think, Adam, this is how I've met you, Jordan, Elliot, etc. Yep. So it is nice to actually speak about it as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, good to meet you too.
Look, a big thing with collecting is people that you talk to, general conversation and, having a good network. It's huge. Like the way I've collected is just through networking. And, I think I've bought something off everyone that's on this panel. My first person I bought off was Paul. I met Paul. I think I bought something off Facebook from him. Facebook Marketplace, and then we caught up just at my daughter's training, and we've been mates ever since. Jordan was the same. Jordan beat me at an auction, and I did the cheeky thing by saying to him, mate, good win, great cards. If you don't like them, hear me out. I think I've done swap deals with Yoni, and I've got stuff off Elliot. So a big key to collecting is, having a great network as well. But you know what? The first thing we're probably going to get into is card collecting. All of us collect cards. We've got mail day, nearly every one of us, every day. We're quite nuts for collecting cards. So
keep that one down.
You're worried the bride's watching. At least someone's watching. All right. So what we're going to do, we're going to get into it. We're going to talk about PSA. We're going to talk about Beckett, CGC, all the grading companies, or do you like your card raw? So, for me, I like a mixture of both. Paul, what do you like?
Yeah, I'm happy to jump in. I've got to be honest, I've graded very few of mine. In fact, I don't think I've ever sent one to be graded. I actually love seeing cards in albums lined up 333 full sets, and a bit of a completist. So, and I'm not really collecting them to sell them. I'm collecting them to keep them. Who knows down the line, I might get rid of a few or grade a few. But I think in that'll probably be in a few years' time when my supers run out. And I'm desperate for a pint of beer at the weekend or something like that, and I might decide to get a few graded to make a bit of cash back. But you look at them, you look at cards. Who knows which ones are going to be? I guess this is a question for the other guys. Who knows what's going to be worth something in 5-10 years time? Those first Ronaldo cards from 2002, 3, whenever it was. Who knew that they'd be going for what they're going now? And I've certainly got a few that have been in my albums for 20 odd years that now potentially are worth something. But would I have graded them all those years ago? Probably not.
It's quite interesting because you obviously you speak about like the old Ronaldo cards and this and that. And I remember 5 years ago, I think it was, there was a Messi card that sold for like $700 or somewhere along those lines, and it was like one of his rookie cards and this and that. It was like PSA 9, I think, or something along those lines. And then 2.5 years later, same card sold 410,000. So like that just shows you the kind of like jump that happened quite quickly in the market for soccer. So
that's crazy of a jump, isn't it? Just shows that you don't. But so many people these days try and like guess what the next big thing is going to be. So the market becomes so expensive so early for these players, especially when they're
the key is never buy United because we don't do well enough for those cards to go up.
So I got that collection.
Yeah. You don't want to know how much I paid for my Rasmus and for my Garnachos.
Yeah. But,
you look at Jamal's like market. It's just absolutely crazy. I think it's just the card market itself is just really like it's just taken off in the last 3-4 years. Guess.
Yeah. But Yamal's quite a unique situation because he was young, but he lived up to the hype straight away. Well, you had people like Pedri and Gavi who you thought were going to hit that, that kind of price. And when they came out, and Endrick as well, when they came out, that they were really going for a lot of money. But if you look back at them, like now, an Endrick rookie now is maybe a 20th of the price that it was a year ago.
Yeah, I picked one up the other day actually. It was only for like a silver prism rookie was like $23 plus postage.
Yeah,
like that's why I was like, I'm just going to get it for having it in the collection. But do you guys think Yamal, with his price already being so high, do you think it could get higher over the years? Because the influx of rookie cards and stuff, every product has 10 to 20 different variants of a rookie for the players. So do you see like their price as, say, 10 years time, do you see Yamal's price being even more than what it is today? Because like obviously with older cards like the Ronaldo, for example, there's so minimal of them available. But with the Yamals, there's so many made.
I've got a bit of a theory here. But you go, Yanni, and then I'll jump.
No, you go first. You go first.
Okay, I've got a bit of a theory. I think, just coming out now, we've got this new Tops, the new Tops collection, Tops Premier League. It seems to be a bit more mainstream than a lot of the other sets. The boxes are a lot cheaper. There's a lot more. There are a lot of variations, etc. So I'm wondering whether we're suddenly going to see a boom in. You can actually pick these up in Britain in newsagents for the first time in a long time, whereas the Panini boxes were only really mail order. A lot of people didn't know they were around. There were a lot less of them. So I suspect that we're going to see a lot more people collecting, and potentially the overall prices for older stuff could absolutely soar in the near future. So we could have got into the game just a little bit ahead of the surge. So we could be in luck, boys.
I do agree to a degree. I think that's a push that will definitely happen because and you do see it, like you see a lot of posts of people saying, "Oh, I'm trying to get my son into collecting and this and that," and they need that kind of like that entrance kind of fee that you can pay to get into it or whatever the case is. And I also think and this is, I guess, because I buy a lot of stuff in US markets specifically. I feel like high-end cards go for higher now than they did a year ago and all that kind of stuff. And I do think it's because in the USA, with the World Cup coming and things like that, people are more aligned with soccer and it's quite a growing sport. So anyone who's into collecting is getting into it over there as well. Messi, obviously, moving to the USA a couple of years ago definitely helped in regards to that too. So like I've seen like Messi, let's say, kaboom cards that a year or two ago would have gone for, let's say, 1.5, 2K USD, going for 4.5, 5K USD just for a kaboom card. So
that's nuts.
Yeah,
big jump, isn't it? Just in the hype of him being there. So, do you think though, like the Yamal market would get higher?
I do personally. I think Yamal is kind of like an exception to the rule. I mean, look, it might go the way of Mbappe, and I don't think Mbappe at the moment, his rookies go for as high as they used to.
Nah, not close.
The thing is, Yamal, all the rookies are already out there because there's not going to be more rookies. There'll be second year, third year, whatever. But the rookies are like, that's it. It's all there. And I honestly think if Spain, like if they push the way they do, and they'll get that the World Cup or something like that. I think
they're going to boost it in that. Once he wins that first Ballon d'Or and all those things start lining up, you're probably right.
I think depending on how Spain go in the World Cup, might define if Yamal's cards keep going up or if they're not going to go down. They'll just plateau. If Spain don't do well at the World Cup, but I think like Yamal's numbers are doing are like equaling almost the Victor Wembanyama like rookies for basketball market. Now we know the basketball card market is just a different kettle of fish, but Yamal's rookie cards are doing like similar numbers, which is just like you wouldn't have believed it 3-4 years ago. So it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, look, I mean, you know me, I only collect United cards, so I don't know too much about Yamal stuff. So, but what gets me is probably over the last, so we all started getting into Beckham rookie cards and stuff like that, and then all of a sudden they started finding boxes and boxes and boxes of these cards over in Thailand and stuff like that, and which the price was high, and then all of a sudden, as soon as they started finding these boxes, it gradually came down a bit. A lot more people were getting cards graded, Beckham rookies graded and stuff like that. The part that gets me with card collecting, right, especially with Manchester United card collectors, is they will go and pay more for a rookie at Manchester United these days, so current players, e.g. Garnacho, than they would a rookie back when they've won 5 Premier Leagues, they've won European titles, they've won FA Cups.
Yeah.
I just don't understand that side of it, and it always breaks my head.
That's the business side of it. That's not the Man United, I'm a fan side of things.
Yeah. They're hoping that Garnacho card that they're going to buy in, say they paid $200 for the rookie card. They're probably hoping in 3, 4, 5 years' time it's worth $600, $700, $800, and they're buying
investment.
Mindset to flip it. Whereas if I bought it, for example, it's just going to stay in the collection forever.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing it certainly with Cheeto cards in some of the recent collections. The autos and whatever are insane, and I know in this Kone and Lacey cards are seem to be flying at a premium now as well. It's the same thing happening. So if we can get hold of them, great. But yeah, as you say, Jordan, if I get them, they're staying in my collection. They'll be in a slipcase in the folder, and they'll be protected for a long time, I hope. So
for sure.
When it comes to collecting, though, guys, like myself, if I try and collect just United sets, so I probably go back to, I was talking about Jordan Cantona's rookie card for United 1992. So I wanted that whole set, and then then I go to the Pro Series and stuff like that, and I love collecting sets of cards, and I love looking back on them. And obviously, like you're talking about Paul Ronaldo's rookie in 2003-4. That I've got every card. The only card I don't have in that set is that Ronaldo one, because it's just so damn expensive now. I've got his second-year rookie, and I've got that whole set. But then it's weird. So you start going into sets, they probably go for another 2 years, and then Match Attack kicked in. So Match Attack kicked in probably around 2010, and you did still have cards, but they might make only 3 United ones or 4 of maybe Arsenal or something like that. They weren't like they were, and that now they've just started coming back in, I suppose, I don't know, maybe the last 5 to 6 years where they're doing full sets. But with these full sets, now we're getting Tops doing them. We're getting like 5 or 6 different sets through a whole season. And it's just getting so hard for the collector now. It's just ridiculous. I think Elliot, now you're one that just does the base sets as well. It's the same as me. I just try and get a base set now instead of trying
and they're still hard to pick up. You
exactly.
Because I guess certain set and that's where certain sets will come out over here in Australia and you can get hold of them.
Yeah.
Certain sets won't, and then you're chasing them and looking for them over, like in the UK, or like I think for my like the summer sign-in set, which usually comes out first set of the Tops do every year, where it's got all the summer sign-ins for each team. I bought those cards individually off eBay from a guy in Germany. So it's just some are harder to get, and I guess, and with those smaller subsets, they only release so many, and you've got to, and they allocate them, and you've got to go into like some sort of, I guess, sort of like bidding thing, or and you might get allocated a box or two, you might not. So that's the frustrating thing with some of these subsets, where arguably they're the nicest cards. You can't pick once the allocation's gone out, and then you want to pick up an odd card or two to fill your base set, you're still paying a decent bit of money for that card and to get it sent. So it's tricky.
Don't forget as well, the other problem is that checklists nowadays are also a lot bigger than they used to be. Like, it used to be like 50, 100 cards like in a checklist for a base or whatever. Now it's like you've got 300 players, you've got 400 players. And so
have you seen the size of the United checklist in that new top CPL? It is huge. It is huge. Yeah, it's like 30 cards deep at least. And that's not including the autos. And you've got to think as well, they've not included any of our new players in that set because they've released it so early. And Bremer cards aren't in there, Cunha cards aren't in there, etc., etc. It's almost like, I guess, the flagship of last year. That's pretty much what I'd compare it to. So like. And I don't collect every base set. Like, I don't collect. Like, I'll just pick the ones that I like, and that's where I focus my attention. Otherwise, if you are running around online on eBay, on different Facebook pages and things like that, trying to fill base sets, you're just going to drive yourself mad.
Great tip.
So
great.
Yeah, you're just going to drive yourself mad. I'll buy into a break, and that usually fills up most of my base set, and I'll pick up some lower number cards at that same time, and then I'll just chuck that in my checklist portfolio, and then I'll just have a little bit of a look around on eBay, and I'm not in a rush, but I know what I'm looking for. I've got my dad who lives in the UK. If I pick up some stuff in the UK, I send them to my old man, and he gathers them for me, and he'll send them to me via the PO box. But I think, you've got to really just sort of not try and overdo it, because you'll drive yourself nuts.
I think that's a good point too, though. Like with the whole collecting, because I'm the same. I collect all the base of Manchester United, or try and get all the sets every year of just the base players, like the base cards. So I think one thing that a lot of people rush to get everything straight away, whereas if you've got a year before they'll release probably another set with the new kits and new players and all that stuff. So I think people just need to, one thing I'm terrible at is I've got no patience. So if I see it, I always think, I'll just buy it now. I'll just get it now. And then you see it pop up a couple of days later for half the price, and you're like, I should have just waited. That's just me. I've got no patience. But one thing that I always try and tell myself is just build the sets over time. They'll come. Like Adam helped me. How many sets now where you just send me something on eBay of a player I need, and I was like, there's another one ticked off.
That's a huge tip. A huge tip with collecting is being patient. You have to be patient with collecting. So especially I'm like Paul, where I love a program. I love a testimonial. I love a match ticket. I love a card. I love a pin or a hat, or it just becomes, and I'm the type of person too that I'll see something on TV or I'll read something and I'll go, well, I might search for that. And then I will find it, and you'll see it dear as poison, and you just go, no, I'll just wait. You just put it aside, and then one day you'll come buy it, and then you go, oh yeah, I'll grab that now. So that is a great tip when it comes to collecting, is you've got to be patient. If you're not patient.
One thing that you just touched on there, I think is another great point, is be wary of prices for the items you're looking for. Yeah. Because some people will buy, like me, for example, sometimes I just buy the first one I see. And as I said before, it comes out and the market's hot if it's new release, you just see like an auto and you're like, shit, I want that Skulls auto. And it's $130, give or take. Just say that. 2 weeks later, the so-called like heat on the product has died down. The hype, I should say, that's the word I'm looking for, has died down. And all of a sudden it's, $60, $70, $80. And you're like, should have waited.
Yeah.
So you got to do your research, especially with you then, Adam, saying about how you find items. You look them up on eBay, you find the item, and you look at it, you see it's deer is poison, you just put it to the side. You just remember what you've seen the price for that item. And every couple of days, just keep looking back. And so
One thing with card collecting that annoys me the most is like United cards are probably always the most expensive, always. But what shits me the most with it is, well, even this new set that comes out, you got another Skulls auto in there. You got another Roy Keane auto. It's just, I'm so overseeing the Skulls auto, the Giggs auto, now the Roy Keane auto. I'm so sick of it. You got players, United legends that go back to, and I know it's probably not everyone's cup of tea, right? But the other year they had a Gordon Strachan one. I really liked it. I would love. They had Norman Whiteside in the last one. I would love to see. And I think I've spoken to you boys about it before. I'd love to see a Paddy Crerand one. Like he's a guy that probably needs help with money. He doesn't get money from United. He doesn't work for them anymore. Things like that. You can go and support the ex-player, and from 1960s, he's still around. You've got Alex Stepney. I know Stepney has signed cards and stuff like that. He probably does a lot of on-card ones when people go up to him and stuff like that. But I'm fortunate enough. I'm lucky enough. I've got some Paddy Crerand stuff. I've got a lot of Paddy Crerand stuff because I know him and I've met him a fair few times. But for the older generation that do collect the 50 plus, we would love something like that. And I'm sure like Elliot or Yanni, you too, Jordan, when you look back at your history, you just like, fuck, if a Paddy Crerand card came up, you're like, fuck, it's going to be an awesome one. So you're going to go, I'm going to try and find that. You know what I mean?
Do you think this is a question for everyone?
I think
sorry, go, Elliot.
I was going to say, I think it's the market that the trading card company are, I guess, wanting to entice. They probably don't. No offense. They don't look at the old collector they don't look at the older collectors, and because they're probably not the guys that are going to go and buy a box off the shelf or off the internet. It's more I guess the younger generation who are I've just earned me pay, so I'm going to go and buy a hobby box of Prism. And there's only one auto, but I'm getting that. It's got the auto in that I want. I think it's the generation. I think that the card market are, I guess, sort of trying to entice. But I agree. I'd love some, some older autos. Even players from the 80s and stuff are probably ones that I'm a bit more familiar with. That Gordon Strachan was a cracker. And I think in the last year's West Ham set, there was an older player in there. Yanni, you probably remember. There was an older West Ham player in the set from pardon? George Hurst. George Hurst, I think it was. Jeff Hurst. That's right. Jeff Hurst. Yeah, he had one in the last year's Prism set, which is great because that's a player from the. And I think he actually had an England card in the last World Cup Prism as well. So that's great. I think more of that sort of stuff would be excellent.
Upper Deck did a great series in 2001. Upper Deck from 2001 to 2003, they did some great on-card autos. I really believe, like even that last Manchester United set, that was $2,000 for the box. Like it was mental. They should have been on-card autos, not a sticker put across them. Value for money. You're talking about like people buying them. Value for money, man. I don't think they're giving people value for money. Do you? Not when they're charging $2,000 a box.
No, I mean it's interesting. Elliot, I think it was Elliot was saying, maybe it was Jordan saying about the not aiming for the older collector, but I can't imagine there'd be many young kids out there at the moment that could afford to drop two or 4
2K.
grand on a couple of boxes of those.
That's right. That's right.
So
Especially with how we're paying.
Yeah, they're definitely.
But it's
there
also,
for the
let's not forget, it's about
older
the
collector.
breaks.
But the brakes are there for sure. But those were definitely aimed at the older collector. There were some older players in there. There was a Whiteside, Steve Bruce. I can't think who else off the top of my head, but there were certainly a few of them. So whether it's a tester,
Autos? They have autos in there.
It's a Steve Bruce auto. There's a Whiteside auto.
Yeah, that would be great. But that's all gone now, all that product, isn't it? Like you can't probably find much of that now.
Yeah, I'll probably be finding it on the second-hand eBay market for premium. But now there's another United set on the way. Maybe what you're saying is right, and the prices will drop down a little bit on those. I don't know.
That's that tin set that they've just released, haven't they?
Well.
So that tin set that I've just seen, like literally a few hours ago.
Yeah.
But already sold out, from what I've heard.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
I think
set of the same autographs.
Paul, didn't you say that you can still buy them off Tops online?
Yeah, the Tops UK website was selling them for 25 quid tonight. When I saw the thing pop up, I had a quick look over there, and 25 quid for a box of 35. I think three numbered cards in there. Autographs in lucky packs, so you might end up buying 10 and get one auto.
How many did you buy, Paul?
None.
Be honest, Paul. Be honest.
None yet. That's the honest answer.
Look, I want to jump into grading cards. I want to jump into that because that's actually been a hot topic in our chat over the past couple of days. Because Jordan and I want to go to TCG and get some on-card autos graded, and these cards are probably going to stay in our collection, definitely. And I want to get some done. We found some guys on eBay that were really good recommendation, and we sort of bought up most of what he had between myself, Jordan, and Yanni. We get a little bit greedy at times, so I just want Yanni and Elliot you guys love grading. I know Elliot loves the PSA, and what do you call it? We done a what do you call them?
Submission.
Yeah, we did a submission with him about 6 months ago, and we did it with Beckett, and it was fantastic. It did take a little while, but I was really nervous because I put a couple of rookie cards in there or things like that, ones that I've been searching for years for and got them finally at a good price. And
I don't know how many times you messaged me. Are they here?
Anxiety really kicked in with me. So
have they arrived yet?
Yeah, just talk through the difference between PSA, Beckett, TCG. I know TCG is really good with Pokemon and stuff like that, but Yanni, I know you love selling cards as well because you're part of the Fanatic scene in the USA, and you're really knowledgeable when it comes to that kind of stuff. So lead the way there.
Oh, my whole thing is just if you are planning on selling the card at any point, or if it's a high value player, so I would always do PSA in the soccer market. It's just what it is. Like, they sell for higher. If you have a look at any rookie cards, they sell for higher if they're PSA compared to TCG or anything like that. For example, if I have a Beckham auto, even though it's, let's say it's $300-400, whatever the case is, if I get a 10 with PSA compared to a 10 with TCG, that PSA sells for more than the TCG would. So
is there
anything like that,
or is it just because PSA
reliability? And the PSA has been in the market for longer, I think, in regards to soccer. Like, I think earlier on people used to grade with them, and then it kind of like stuck.
Recognizable worldwide. Yeah. It's recognizable worldwide.
Yeah, so but as Adam said, like, actually, I think for Pokemon, TCG probably reigns supreme compared to.
Oh, it's huge. It's huge.
So and I think in like basketball and stuff like that, it's indifferent, like market wise, like in regards to the price. But in soccer, It just is. And I think if you have a look at like older cards, like 1950s and 60s Pele and Maradona's in the 70s, like the PSA. So I think that kind of like holds value. So yeah, but the cards, for example, that you guys spoke about, like the on-card autos that you've got, like I don't think any of these cards would be worth, more than $20-$30, whatever the case is. So for that, like it's not worth grading it for like $50 with PSA. Like you might as well do something else that's cheaper and you're happy with.
Yeah.
So
my
Cards
big concern
encased, it's protected. It looks good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly why I want to do it, is to protect the card and just have it in a slab. So I like the slab look. I like having it, I don't know, it's like the slab. But my thing is with PSA is another question for you guys. PSA's turnaround from when I talked to my local card shop was 5 months.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
That's wild to wait.
There's actually one other reason
It's
I would
gotten
do.
worse.
Yeah, it's really bad. And I think with everything that's happening with tariffs and this and that. The other thing I would do though, I would potentially choose a TCG or like a Beckett, if I knew 100% it was going to be a pristine 10, because their little tenor is amazing looking, and some cards would just look so much better. Like the Garnacha that I did that I thought was going to be a 10, but ended up being a 9. If that was a tenor, I would have been much preferring that Beckett, because
it's like a gold label, isn't it, or something like that?
Yeah, and the card was like
everything's a 10. All 4 of the marking criteria. I think you get a gold label.
Yeah, like and then because the card itself was like a nice orangey, I just thought it would look really nice together with them. But yeah,
was that the sapphire? Is that the sapphire one?
No, it's not sapphire.
So I guess probably if you look from a Beckett card here, not sure if you guys can see that. So that's when you grade a Beckett card. What I do like about Beckett is it actually categorizes and drops down the grading. So based on like centering, edges, corners, surface. So it sort of breaks it all down, which I think is really cool. And then if you get a 10 in all of those, then you get like I think it's got a gold.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's sort of like, that's how a Beckett would look. And whereas like a PSA, I think, you just get the 10. Just get the 10 here.
Yeah.
But then obviously you can scan your QR code on the back. It'll tell you the population of the card. And I think it gives it like its breakdown of grading as well, I think, on that QR code as well. But I don't know. It's been a little while since I've dabbled into it, to be honest. But I think the biggest thing for me is like, and like what Yoni said, what's the purpose of grading? And like, I guess once you've made that decision, then if you've got something that is high in value and you want it in a PSA slab, then do it in a PSA slab. But if you've got something that you just want in a slab that looks good, and I guess if you use the example of those cards that you guys just bought, and you grade in all 3 with TCG, then obviously you're going to display those 3 cards together, so they've got the same grading slab. It's going to look good together, and it warms your heart, I guess. But and that's pretty much it. I think from me and how I grade my cards is I just like look at, is it gonna? I don't really have much of like a formula, but I just if it's something that I'm going to keep, I grade all of my cards that I want to keep because I put them on the shelf.
Always with PSA.
It protects I've most of mine with PSA. So everything that I've got on my shelf is either in a graded slab or it's in a one touch. And eventually I'll grade it like when I want, I guess when I want to, and I think what's been putting me off at the moment is the tariffs and stuff like that. And I just a bit of uncertainty there. But probably where there's people that you can consign your gradings with as well. And a lot of the guys, send a lot of cards off to grade sort of each month. And when we did our consignment, we consigned with the hobby. Lane and the boys down there, and they do a really great job. And they're used as like a bit of like a middleman. But because they send off so many cards to get graded at once, it does speed up the process a little bit on when you get them back, because they're doing a monthly consignment. All of their customers consign with them. They send it all off together. So because they're sending off a larger amount, it does sort of come back a bit quicker from my experience. I think the Beckett one that we did with them was a bit slower, because Beckett is probably not as popular as PSA to grade your cards with. And I think and they do like a good service with a guy who sort of like cleans your cards and stuff as well prior to grading, which is I guess a good service that they do. And he's based down in Melbourne, where the hobby is, and they drop the cards off to him. He provides his service, and the good thing about that is he will actually give you can pay a little bit more to get an assessment back on, I guess, the condition of your card, and and if he believes it's going to get a good I guess grade or not.
So it gives you kind of like a prediction for what he thinks it could get. So that way, if he
Yeah,
says,
I wouldn't say a prediction, but it's more, this is a condition of your card.
Yeah.
This is a condition of your card. And he'll even send you some photos and stuff like that. I mean, for me, it doesn't matter. I'm grading it regardless. So I think only once I've got the assessment back. But in saying that, if you're a bit hesitant, and you're not wanting to send the card unless you're getting a good grade for it, then that service is a good thing to have. Because they'll just send the cards back to you, But like for me, I'm sending them regardless. I've got a PSA 6 on the Wales side of my collection with all my Wales cards and stuff like that for the and that's fine, So I guess it's all. Yeah, it's all based on what brings you joy, and I guess and what your purpose is for grading. If your purpose is just to sit it on your shelf and it looks good, I think that's the best reason for grading. But I guess a lot of people will send cards off to grade to boost their value, because they're either going to sit on it or they're going to flip it quite quickly.
Yeah.
Do
you see PSA coming to Australia at all? Sorry.
I don't know that much about that, but possibly with I guess trading cards have sort of boosted, especially with breaks and live auctions and stuff like that, with the Whatnot release, sort of, which has probably been almost a year now. A bit more of the trading card market is getting bigger and bigger over here, so maybe PSA might grade over here in the future. I'm not sure.
That'd be awesome.
It'd save a lot of stress, that's for sure.
Save a lot of messages, that's for sure.
But we should, when I do plan on doing some more research and stuff around tariffs and things like that, because I've got a couple of cards I do want to send away, and I know sort of you boys have sort of been, sort of, I guess, keen to maybe get a consignment together. So I think that might be something cool we could do down the track if we're feeling quite quite happy with sort of turnaround times and things like that. We could get a consignment sent off and bring them back and bring them on the pod.
Yeah, definitely. All right. I think we've covered a fair bit with the cards and stuff like that. So we're definitely going to do future podcasts on cards and stuff like that, dedicated ones. We thought we'd just get through this one. I want to move into jerseys. I want to move into jerseys, spotting fakes and reading codes and things like that, because these days on eBay and especially Marketplace, we are flooded with jerseys from China and Thailand and things like that. And for mine, they never ever describe them as, they're not going to describe them as a fake, but they always never like reproduction. They never put the word reproduction to them or anything like that. So you can easily get sucked in by these jerseys. And I'm constantly looking at this stuff on eBay, and it drives me crazy. It drives me crazy. I have got some remakes in my collection, but they're only like from the 80s, and I needed something quick to get signed and stuff like that because I was at a function. But I'm going to Jordan, I know you collect a fair few jerseys.
Yeah.
Paul, I know you've got a lot of retro jerseys, and you get into the modern day jerseys as well. But I'm also going to talk. I also want to talk about like the Electra name sets and stuff like that, and because a lot of people think when it comes to jerseys, that they were all, what do you call it? The PU, which is like the name sets these days, or the what do they call it? The material that they used in the 90s, the felt in the 90s, and the felt in the 90s only went from, I think, obviously through the 80s and that it was felt as well, and the 70s, but it stopped. It also stopped when it came to about 2012, 13, all the felt stuff. And
It's exactly the year it stopped in the Premier League, 2012.
Yeah, that's it. But people don't know that in the 90s, you could actually just go to a sports shop and they would put the plastic name set on the back. So it was generally like you had to go to the Manchester United store and they would put it on the back for you. But in the early 90s too, with jerseys, they never had names on the back of their jerseys. It was only a number. I think it was like 91, 92, 93. Then they started having name and numbers on the back. A lot of even the long sleeve never came in till probably 1996, 97 for the fans. It was always only players that got that. The player version of jerseys back in the day was always stitched as well. And even the ship on that, on the player's version, wasn't really that crash hot. But you had, through the 90s, you always had, or even some of my 80s jerseys, late 80s jerseys, the name set was, or not name set, sorry, the badge. The badge was like this. It's all puffed up through here. Even the sponsor was all puffed up. Now, this jersey is what, the 92, 93 jersey, this one here. Yeah. So there's a few things. This one is well known for being fake. It's everywhere. The one thing you'll find is, first of all, the badge is bad, and you'll get the ship. They really struggle to get the ship correct on not so much the modern day jersey, but on the ones through the 90s. You always look for, on this jersey, I've got another one here. On the inside of the jersey, this is just behind where the laces are. They do not have that. And on the green and gold one is the same, but it is stitched in gold on the original. On the fake, it's not. This is the jersey here. So that's the full set. All these are all puffed up. Sometimes you will see a number on the Umbro tag. But you were saying before, Jordan, what were you saying about the tag?
So another way to spot an Umbro jersey if it's fake is on the blue tag in the collar where it has the Umbro written. On the fakes, it won't have any stitching of the blue coming through on the actual Umbro that's written. On the real products, it'll have, from left to right, it'll have 2 dots, 3 dots, 2 dots, 3 dots. As it works its way all the way down through the Umbro, the fakes do not have this. That's one way to tell, because they don't stitch the Umbro with the blue. Whereas the actual real ones, the authentic ones, you'll see in the tag, it will have, it's always 2, 3, 2, 3.
Okay. So that's the basics for Umbro, really. Like I also have seen lately because especially the Sharp stopped in 99 2000. So the white jersey, this one, I'll just quickly get it. Couldn't be more prepared. This one here. So I have seen this one here. It took me a while. We're talking before about getting jerseys and being patient and stuff like that. So this is the last one to my collection. So this jersey here I have seen with Premier League numbers all on the back, Premier League name set. It was never worn in the Premier League. Never. It was only worn for 2 games. It was worn for a preseason tour in Australia
Charity Shield.
and the Charity Shield. This jersey. They used to also wear it at training as well on occasions. So if you ever see this jersey with Premier League name sets or Premier League badges on the side, don't buy it. Don't buy it.
Was that jersey ever released to the public, or is that potentially
Yeah. No,
worn?
it was definitely released to the public. Yeah, yeah. And then the following season, Vodafone came in. So this one was worn in the Premier League. So it's the Vodafone one you're looking for that. The other ones I'll quickly go through here. So just a tip on when it comes to Nike stuff back in the 2000s. If you have a look at this jersey, have a look at the tag. This middle number here, the middle number 23792466. This is your ID number for that jersey. So if you go into Google or whatever you use, your search engine, you type that into your search engine up the top. Always put Nike first, and then that number. It will come up with that number. It'll come up with that jersey. Okay. And it's the same with Adidas these days. Adidas has got it as well. Adidas has all the new tags for Adidas. It's all in the right-hand corner. I think I have got a photo here somewhere. Where are we? I don't know. Somewhere there. All in the right, in the new, here we go. In the new jerseys these days, it's all got a tag in the corner. And these are your ID tags. Same situation. You put it in. See these numbers? So you put JF1291, and it's also got the year that it was produced. You can, when you put these into your search engine, it could come up with, on a fake, it could come up with a Colombia jersey or an Italy jersey or something like that. They will have these tags in there. But if you put that number in and it doesn't come up with that jersey, it's a fake.
Always ask that number before you purchase a jersey as well. If it's anything from 2004 onwards, always. It might be earlier than that when they started producing the product codes. But if someone won't give you the product code, it's 100% going to be a fake, because that's the one thing that identifies all these jerseys to be authentic.
Yeah, 100%. Like I know when I'm on eBay and I'm looking at jerseys and stuff like that, I know straight away it's a fake. I don't even have to try and search. But what I generally do is I will message them and I'll say to them, "Can you just send me the tags?
Yep.
Send me the tags for it." And generally they will not send you the tag because they know it's fake.
They'll send you the wash tag, which you got to be careful of, which is on the Adidas one is actually down on the side. The wash tag, not the actual product code, and they'll say, "Is this what you're after?" Then you ask, no, the one on the collar, and they never. Sometimes they do send it, and it is authentic, but most of the time these days, it is impossible nearly to find an authentic jersey on eBay.
So when Nike was around in 2002, they came up with now on this silver sort of stitching here. There's actually, what do you call it? It's actually written security on there. I've put a magnifying glass over it. That's how much of a dork I am when it comes to collecting. It actually does have security written there. So a lot of people think on these jerseys that a little bit later on it came out with a number that was written here. They all think that's the code. It's not. The code is actually on this. You have to put both of these in. You put both these numbers in, and if it's got that black tag, I actually saw one recently with the 2008 jersey. It came with this black tag. So most people go, yep, it's real. If you look at the other tags, it was made by Dolce & Gabbana. Like, you're kidding yourself, man. Like, it's absolutely horrific. And the guy wanted like $130 for it. And you're like, mate, you're taking the piss, man.
They're trying to rip people off. That's what they're trying to do.
That's what annoys me the most with it. Yeah.
I get it if you're getting it signed and stuff, but if you buy a fake jersey, that's fine, but don't try and resell it as something authentic. That is one thing in the whole hobby that drives me up the wall more than anything.
Yeah, mate, it's a joke. It's the way the market is. And look, people can sit there and tell me as much as they want that buying a fake is just as good as buying the same thing from Adidas or Manchester United. It's not even close, man. It's not even close. I've seen jerseys where this one here, this jersey here. So it's got all Manchester United players on it down each side. This jersey here is a prime example of how poor they're made. This jersey here, I actually bought one. I bought one just to see what it was about. I bought it off a guy in Marketplace. Literally cost me like $35. I bought it. When I received it, it had spelling mistakes right through it. And it still has spelling mistakes in it to the day. It's absolutely mental. Like, they can't spell Creren correctly. Like, it was incorrect right across it. It's just like, mate, you're taking the piss. And like, there's something like that. A jersey like that is a classic for Manchester United. Yeah. Like, it's embarrassing that people will go and purchase it, wear it, and try and tell you it's a good jersey. It's not even close, man. It's not even close. And look,
something else I was going to say to you, Adam, to just bear in mind with jerseys is when the Glazers took over in the mid 2000s, a lot of United fans started buying. Basically, it opened the market to people were buying fake jerseys from wherever they were coming in from all over the world, from second rate makers. Some of them are pretty good quality, but in a lot of cases, some of these now are 20 years old. People don't remember. People don't remember where they bought it from. They don't necessarily remember it's a fake, or it may have been passed down from a dad to a kid who then tries to sell it. So I think if you are, and obviously United have done retro collections as well, and then therefore they've sort of boosted onto this kind of fake market too. So there's almost like a second wave of fakes that are coming through, and it does make it very, very difficult. So I think some people are clearly trying to sell fakes for as authentic, but there are some people out there that genuinely don't know. So having the tips on the what's on the labels, or being able to spell Manchester correctly or spell players' names correctly is obviously a big help. But yeah, certainly you see it straight away now. As soon as there's a new shirt, it's all over social media. You can buy a fake from these guys. It looks exactly the same. It's there. In some cases, they're even getting them to wear before they're even being released in the official line at Old Trafford. So it's a real minefield.
That's the thing that gets me now, is when it comes to, look, I'm all for they need to stop making 3 jerseys a year. It's an absolute disgrace that they actually do that, and it's costing people a fortune. And but the one that gets me the most is China sends out a photo of the jerseys before they're even released. And you know what I mean? They're out there, and people are going, okay. I never used to believe it. I used to go, nah, there's no way that's the jersey for the next season. And sure enough, it's the jersey. It's crazy.
They do get it right.
That zebra one from a couple of years ago, there was no way they were going to produce that, and then they did. And actually, I didn't mind it after a while either.
To me, it actually does sometimes build anticipation. Like, the last year's third jersey, which in my opinion is one of the best jerseys we've had over the last God knows how many years.
The white one.
Yeah. And the first time I saw it, you're like, oh, will it be good? Won't it be good? You really don't know. And then, you know, when they finally released it, and you're like, oh shit, this is top. So it was nice to have that build up, and then actually, yeah, it is quite good.
Actually release it.
I want to say, by the way, Paul, it is really nice that we managed to blame the Glazers for something while in this pod. So I appreciate it.
I've got Emad in the comments, and he knows me too well. You still buy all 3 kits, though, don't you? Well, I'll give you a tip for that one. And I think I've told this to Emad on several occasions. When I buy jerseys, I always wait. I always wait for that. United always do the 40% off. And I know people always are busting to go and get the jersey. I always wait for that 40% off. I'm in a fortunate position sometimes that I do know someone that works for Ultra Football or something like that. So I go and get 40% off. Like the jersey this year's $280. It's gone up twice. It went up last year and it's gone up again this year, which is absolutely ludicrous. I love buying the authentic, and I think I've talked a lot of blokes into that I'm mates with. They wait now and they get the authentic at the end of the season because they do remake them. And they,
I buy
to me,
3 every year, but I wait till normally there's normally a Black Friday sale or something. You can pick up one then. Around New Year's, there's normally a sale, and then wait to the end of the year, and they do like a clearance thing. Like there's always these sales because the jerseys at the moment, man. Like to be honest, I've got well over 300 at the moment, probably close to 400 if I'm being honest with jerseys, and it's bad. Like this is half of it. That's
and you're saying to me, and you have a go at me about what I collect. I only collect United. You are out of control. Look, Jordan, we need to have a chat.
But the thing with that is though, like, is I'm very big on like I won't pay full price for the jersey. I'll wait. I'm patient with that because I think when they come to like $200 for a jersey, I think like man, I don't understand.
Especially when United's doing so shit, you don't want to buy it right now, you know.
And every player I get, man, has the worst season ever, or they get sold.
Well, do you want to hear a really sad thing about a jersey?
Yeah.
So when we signed Sancho, I bought it and I bought the long sleeve one, thinking, "Fuck yes, Sancho 25, the red long sleeve looks amazing." And then the next day we announced Ronaldo, and I was like, "Fuck! If I just waited that day, I could have had that jersey, long sleeve, Ronaldo. Like it would have been amazing." But nah, I'm fucking had Sancho, and that's the shit that I need to wear when I go to the gym sometimes.
I did get the long sleeve. I have got the Ronaldo long sleeve. I did get it. But the one thing I do is I don't get impressed at the mega store. I don't get impressed. I press it myself. I've got a heat press, and funny enough, Emad, that's how I met Emad. We talk about building relationships and stuff like that. Emad hit me up. He was part of the supporters club, and he asked me if I could press a name set for him. And
was it Bruno? Over. I know he loves Bruno.
It was actually a Ronaldo. It was Ronaldo.
No.
Yeah. And it was the 2007 jersey. And so we got the name set for him and everything like that. And that's it. Nice. That's how we become in this hobby altogether is just building good relationships. So
the best thing about the hobby, I think, is everyone you meet.
Definitely. Look, and one tip I'll give people is ask questions, man. Worldwide Reds, man, send us a message. If you're unsure about something, or about a jersey or something like that, there's so much knowledge with us when it comes to collecting. We're not novices. Like, as you can see behind me, Paul Bloxham. If I don't know something, I generally run to Paul Bloxham because this guy, Paul, far out, man. He's got some of the most unbelievable stuff I've ever seen. I've done swap deals with Paul, everything like that. He set me up stuff. It's just the knowledge Paul's got, and that's why I want him to come on our collecting shows. And mind you, Paul's been going. Well, your family are season pass holders, aren't they, Paul?
We've got a group of mates that have tickets. Yeah. In his day, my dad was a City fan, but I tend to keep that quiet. But he kept it very quiet in the 80s as well. Funnily enough,
we have in the family. So everyone on my dad's side is Man United fan because they're all from Belfast, but most of them live in Manchester now, right? But there's one Muppet that is a Man City fan. And for the past 10 years, it's been horrendous.
Yeah.
No, there's always one. But yeah, no, I think I tend to remember stuff when it relates to United and United bits and bobs. But anything that's matters, particularly around my job or anything like that, I forget it very, very quickly. So there must be something in it. Maybe I should change career.
So that's basically the basics on jerseys. So if anyone's watching, feel free to send us a message, or even if you got something in the comments now.
Or if you know any tips or tricks or anything like that, send them through. Something that we might not know. There's always more stuff to learn about these jerseys and how to pick fakes, even down to the cards. If there's something you might know that we don't know, share it with us. We're all here to learn.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Look, you never stop learning. You never stop learning in the collecting game. The biggest problem with collecting is yourself. You are the biggest problem because you never seem to just sit there and go, "I'm not buying something." It's terrible. It is a drug addiction, and if you want to get into it, I can recommend don't get into it because it can take you away. Look, I don't drink or anything like that. So, and get yourself a wife that can actually accept it because it does take over your life at some stage. So, but you know what? I want to move into the side of the program where we can show off a few little things and just tell us a bit of a story about what you have and basically why you collect or just give us a little bit of a story about how you got into collecting or something like that. So let us know, boys. Who wants to start?
I don't mind. I can jump in first with a couple of very, very simple things. I know I showed you this before we came online. This is, I think, the first United item that I probably picked up, which is a flyer from that I got from the souvenir shop probably in the mid-'80s sometime for a 20p off a mug. But probably the piece that is probably is worth talking about that probably a lot of people discard are these things. This is a token sheet from which maybe fans in Australia wouldn't know, but in the right the way up to the 2000s, you needed tokens for tickets. They were often in the program. In later years they were actually on the ticket, so it's harder to find tickets in more recent years because they've been cut up and the tokens removed. But for big games, you used to have to fill up your sheet. I've got a lot of these going back to the 50s, some with tokens on, some without tokens, but this one is 67-68 season. Wow. So someone would have been collecting these tickets, the tokens to pick up their European Cup final ticket. But this is one of mine. This is from the 98-99 season. So this is from the treble year. So and you can see the way the ticket office used to operate when you used it for a certain game. They scribble they put a line, put the names of the games on it. Sometimes they put it on the back just to fool people that were off to fool. But yeah, here's my one from that year. I'll hold it back a little bit, but it's got my tokens on it, and it's definitely part of my story of 98-99. So whether there'll be an opportunity down the track to showcase some other stuff I've got from 98-99, maybe, but that's for Adam and another day. But I'll throw it out to someone else.
Definitely. Look, just talking about the tokens. If you're a collector of programs and stuff like that, you will see in the description they'll say token has been removed or the token intact. So generally the token will be on the either the back page or the back couple of pages. You'll get your program. I think most programs through the 50s and 60s, like Youth Cup games, were literally one page. It just opened up like that. You never got tokens in them, but that was always very good. But the programs for the first team, It was generally in the first couple of the 2 back pages, I should say, and in the program. So we might do a program on this.
2 bits to add, Adam, very quickly to that. They did used to do subscription programs as well. If you had a subscription to the program, they always came with a blank space where the token was. It was because they wanted to reward people that actually went to the games and didn't have a subscription. So you do often find those, and sometimes you'll see that on eBay that it will say subscription copy, and that's the difference. The other thing is generally for the very early games and in the League Cup particularly, or where they were expecting a smaller gate, they wouldn't actually put the token in the program. When you paid your money at the gate, you get a little special token, and rather than being numbered 1 to 25, they'd be A, B, C, D, E, F. And there was always a roaring trade for those on the way out from those League Cup games. People would be selling them for effectively the £1 they paid gate money. They'd be trying to get the money back for selling their special tokens. And towards cup final time, the guys on the corners were always there selling special tokens. There was a roaring trade. So hard to find.
I've just got a quick question here from Emad. He said, Adam, where would be the best place to get authentic retro kits from? So it's a bit of a tough one. Like you got classic football shirts, but they will rob you blind. It's always look, it's a tough one these days, especially the ones from the 90s, man. The ones from the 90s, they what do you call it? They have upped the market a bit, but again, it comes to being patient. I was lucky. I picked up that 2000 jersey. I picked it up for $50. I also picked up, and this is only recently, and I picked up that one I had in the photo, the one with the laces. The one with the laces. I picked that up for $50 too. So
we know you keep on finding these deals and never sharing it with all of us. You're just like, oh, hey guys, look at what I got today. This cost me $20. I spent 2 hours talking to the guy about where he got it from and this and that. And you're like, okay, that's nice, Adam, but
that's the best. That's your best thing. The best thing is to make sure you actually talk to people as well, to try and get them down a bit and stuff like that. But eBay's always got them.
Yeah, there's a couple of good second-hand sellers like that. PFC Vintage in Melbourne. He's a bit expensive, but he's always authentic jerseys. There's another one called Shearer's Cupboard. He does a lot more from 2010 to 1995-ish stuff. He's very, very good to deal with too. Like, he's very nice. He's a young fella. He used to work with that PFC Vintage, and he started his own thing. So a lot of second-hand sellers on, honestly, Instagram is probably where you'll find a lot of good second-hand sellers that are reputable. Look at reviews, look at comments in their photos and their posts. But you're going to try and steer away from
the football house down in Tassie. He's usually really good as well.
Yeah,
he's really good, and he's actually got a page on Facebook where a lot of blokes post on as well. I've forgotten the page. I think it's called Classic something. I think it could be called
Kids Australia, which is a good
Football
one.
Kids Australia. That's it.
That's
Football
a great page to be.
So Football House runs that. He runs
yeah,
that.
He's great. He's very good at picking fakes. Is that Tim?
Tim, yeah.
He's great.
Yes,
He's
at the moment on that page, there are some very good jerseys from around 2010. I think I sent it to Elliot. Elliot's right into trying to get a few retro jerseys. On there, you'll have guys on there that will sell them at very good prices. Expect to pay like $110 to $150. If you can get a 90s jersey down to about $120, you got yourself a bargain. You got yourself a bargain, dead set.
I think I picked up that Schweinsteiger jersey for like 80, 75, 80
oh, you
bucks.
think you got it? Well done. Yeah.
I'm just in the middle of chatting to him about it, but yeah. I think for me, it's more I want to wear them, so big boy sizes. They're harder to get. Well, I've found that they're harder to get, I guess.
Like in the 90s, most jerseys were all XLs. So, you know, that's another tip for the jerseys. Like if you see a jersey like from the 90s, a small or a medium, it was very rare a small or a medium was even sold. I think from the store, it was most of the time it was like an XL. I can never remember. My first jersey I got was probably 1990, and 92. The snowflake, and that was XL when I got that. It was like a dress on me when I first got it, and I've still actually got the brochure that I bought it in. Yeah,
just fits now, right?
Sorry, just fits
It
now.
fits
Yeah,
now.
and you know what? I used to wear that to training all the time. I've wore it to death, and it still looks really good. The condition is still fantastic. So like the jerseys back then, we will do like a 90s jersey pod. I reckon we'll do. So next up, Elliot, show us what you got, buddy.
Yeah, all right. So I guess big reason about why I support United. Two big figures in my life that sort of is my granddad and my uncle Billy. They were just big on Manchester United and stuff like that. And I remember walking into like my uncle's lounge room when I was like 6 or 7 years old, wearing like a Liverpool jersey, and he said, "That's not happening. My nephew and my godson is not supporting Liverpool." And from that day onwards, I supported United. I guess the big thing I've got is my uncle Billy went to the new camp for the final in '99, and he picked up this I guess this authentic. Well, not. It's sort of like a match day jersey specifically to the final. So it's sort of like.
Whoa.
So
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, wow.
So picked it up, sort of like your match day scarves and stuff were being sold and things, I guess with the I guess you get those stalls around the ground before the game. He picked that up, and the reason why I got it, reason why I've got it now, and he does it, my uncle actually, he sadly passed away about 15 years ago. He had a rare blood disease called hemochromatosis. So he, my auntie, gifted me that after he died, and it's probably my most, cherished piece of memorabilia that I have in my man cave, and I hold that one very close. One day I will get it framed. I'm just not ready to do that yet, but one day I will get it framed and have it displayed. But I guess for now, I've just got it hanging up, and it's the jersey that I look at the most frequently, and it's, I guess, just a very historical game from, I guess, the guy who was the biggest influence as a United fan to me. Took me to my first Manchester United game when I was like 9 years old. So I went to watch Manchester United against Bradford City on Boxing Day in the 99-2000 season, where we won 4-1. And that was the first game and the only game I went to until 2014. Lots of memories, and that's probably my most cherished possession.
It's awesome that you have the connection to it as well. It's not just like an item; it's from someone that was so important in your life as well. Like that's something you don't see very often. I reckon that's awesome.
Yeah, it's always, Elliot, I know with my uncle that got me into it, and mate, when he passed away, I was fortunate enough to get a few items off him, old photos and old season passes that he had, and things like that, and you go through all that kind of stuff, and you see autographs in the back there, and you see photos of who you used to be with, and it's just they're unreal to have. They're so precious to you there, and I always maintain. People always ask me what's my favourite piece in the cave, and I always say the one that my uncle, he sent me a postcard in 1992 when Manchester United went to Malta, and I don't think it would have made it back to Australia these days because it had David Beckham's autograph on it. It's got Sir Alex Ferguson's on it. and it's just an open postcard. It wasn't in an envelope or anything like that.
Wow.
But and it managed to get from Malta to Sydney, Australia. So that's probably my most precious thing in this cave, a little postcard. I've got it all framed up with his letter when he started the supporters club. But I know how you feel, mate. That when somebody's handed you down something, it's there's nothing better. It's unreal.
Yeah, my uncle was he was 42. He died at a young age of 42. So, I think, if that didn't happen, we probably would have shared maybe a few more games at Old Trafford. And, I felt quite privileged because he never got to take my cousin, his son, to a game. So when I went back to live in Wales, I took my cousin to his first United game at Old Trafford, which was quite special. And that was, I think it was West Ham, Christmas time, 3-1. I think Ashley Young scored 2 goals. I think it was like the 12th of December or something like that. But so that was really special. And I felt quite privileged that I could share that moment with my cousin because he couldn't share it with his dad. So, that was really special.
That's awesome. And stories like that make you, like, that's why we all love this, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
What do you got, Jordan?
But mine's not as sentimental as that.
Hard to back up on that, isn't it?
Jesus. Tough crowd. We'll start with, I've got one of my heroes growing up, signed Paul Scholes, 2008 Champions League final, authentic jersey.
That's a sick one.
Yeah, it's got all the embroidery from the game, patches, and then obviously the name set with him signing it. That used to be in the Seedorf frame, but it's currently out because I like to change them up every now and again. I've also got the Brian McClare's testimonial match, the program, signed by him, and the ticket to go with it. Big shout out to Adam for this one. He found this one over in, was it Scotland or something?
I got the ticket for you, and I never got one.
Got to be smart about it. That was a big moment for, like, we went to an event obviously last year. I'm sure a couple of you guys might have even been there, but my whole collecting comes from my mum. So when I was born in 1998, the first thing I got put in before I even got a cuddle off my mum was a Manchester United little jumper. So I didn't even get a choice coming out of the box. That was my team. If I come home with anything else, I remember we went to a market when I was 6, and I seen Frank Lampard the weekend score an absolute screamer for England. And I asked my mum if I could buy a Frank Lampard Chelsea jersey. She said, "If you ever bring that into the house, you'll be homeless."
Seems reasonable.
Yep. I didn't understand it back then. I just thought, wow, what a goal. Let me buy that. But my thing is, like, with the Brian McClare stuff, is she is a diehard Manchester United fan. Like, she is through and through. Everything revolves around them. And when last year, when we went to that event, we actually got to see and meet Brian. That was a big thing for her because she's not someone that puts herself in positions to go and meet these players and do these things. So actually to see her see someone that she watched and, like, idolized a bit was actually quite nice.
And she still hesitated at the event. I had to get you both up.
That's what I mean. She goes to these things and she's like, "Oh, I don't want to get a photo or something." And then I'm like, "Oh, okay." And then we go home and she's like, "Should have got a photo." I'm like, "Yes." And then one of my, this isn't like such a big item, but it's a second-year Ronaldo rookie. So Ronaldo is obviously my goat in football. One day I would love to get his actual true rookie card. As Adam said, it's a bit out of the budget, but that's just something that
I think I hooked you up with that as well, didn't I?
Yeah, probably. Everyone watching, if you want to find good items, just message us like. But yeah, that's what I've got for this episode.
Yeah, very cool, very cool. Yanni?
I mean, I showed a lot of mine last time, and so I was trying to think of what else I can show. I've got a couple of things, but only one of them is going to be United. But they're just cards that I think are really awesome. And
Doesn't have to be United. It can be anything.
Yeah. So this one is Pele 1967.
That's so
like,
cool.
Figuritas. Like, I'd like to collect all of these if possible. I actually saw like the entire collection on sale for 3K USD today, which is very.
That's the whole collection.
This card alone is like 800 USD or something along those lines.
Wow.
Probably a bit more.
What year is it?
67.
Oh, wow. Who's in the collection, if you don't mind me asking?
Pardon?
Who's in the collection? Like, who's in that set?
Oh, that's the thing. So there's a Bobby Charlton. There's a few other ones. I will buy the Charlton at some point, but the Charlton's only like, depending on the grade, maybe like 250, 300 USD, somewhere along those lines. Maybe a bit less if it's a bad graded one. But the most expensive card in that collection is actually a Muhammad Ali card.
Yeah, right.
Which and I'll show you a Muhammad Ali thing in a second too. I've got this 10 out of 10 Maradona, which is probably about
wow
2.5K along those lines.
Nearly put that in my nearly put that in my pocket.
Yeah, I won it in a Raz, so it was nice. Sorry, not a Raz, in a break.
It was good.
I would love a Maradona.
I remember that break. Break.
I marked out. Let me tell you. Ronaldo Auto. Yeah, it's nice.
Wow.
Yeah, which was a Raz, so that was nice. Paul, you didn't see these last week, but I will show these again because you were not here. But it was so that's from the 2008-9.
Oh, nice.
Final. And then that's Ronaldo and Messi from the semi-final that year.
Oh, wow. Brilliant.
Yeah, 2008.
And who hooked you up with those?
I don't remember. Some guy.
But just stop giving this guy credit away.
But I'll show you actually. So this is another thing that I won elsewhere, but bear with me. It's a bit big.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Hey, what if he ever wants to sell that Ronaldo Messi, it'd go quite nicely over here.
I will not.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you'll be able to see this. I'll try. Oh, Jesus Christ.
This is a real show and tell. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's a signed Muhammad Ali glove that I won.
Wow.
Yeah. There's a signature somewhere there, but it's hard to show.
Don't drop it.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. I won that at in crypto, actually. Because I invest in crypto, or I used to. And they did a giveaway for a particular NFT thing that I had, and I won this, so it was nice.
That's incredible.
You got some luck.
Some of these things need to be up on display around the office.
It used to be actually. It used to be up there somewhere, and
yes.
I just need to put it up properly. I might even do it this weekend. I don't know. I've got a lot of stuff I should be putting, just to give you a bit of an idea.
It's definitely not going to put up this weekend. Guaranteed.
There's
It's like my office.
that I like that does does.
That's cool.
That's really cool.
Save it, Yanni. Save it. We've got plenty of time. We're not planning on quick.
But what I'm saying is,
Give us a house to at this point, Yanni. What land do you got?
Pardon?
No, but I'm just staring.
So before I start,
awesome, though.
Before I start with what I've got a couple little items here. But before I start, I'm doing something a little bit different. I was talking to a guy today. I won't mention his name, but he's got a couple of things for sale. If you want to, if you're interested in them, contact me. It's the same guy that Yanni's bought from, and I've bought from him as well.
I'm interested.
Jordan said he was going to talk to him, but I'll put the items up now. So this is from 2008 Champions League. This is straight from the Old Trafford store. It does come with the jersey inside. The jersey is just on another photo, which I haven't got up. I should have put it up as well.
I do need that though. So please,
that's the box that it's come in. That's the box it comes in. Also, if you're interested, let me know. I can put you in contact with the person, and it's actually got the two. I thought I may have had the photo there, but I don't have it. It's the 2008 champ. It's like the one that Jordan's got, the 2008 jersey. It's with the patches. It's got the Champions League match detail on it. It all comes in this box. They are beautiful. This one that he's got is beautiful, been well looked after. He's also got this. These are all bought from Old Trafford as well. He's got this Cristiano Ronaldo. Now, I can't tell you whether the autograph is like a print or a or hand signed. He'd be able to tell you that. He's got that as well. And last but not least, he's got this set here, which I'm interested. I have been talking about it with him, but it's this one here is straight from the mega store, and it's a little bit pricey, but this is probably one of the pricier ones you can get in the are they Corinthians? I'm not sure if they're Corinthians, but it's from the official mega store. So that's three things he's got. If you're interested, let me know, and I can hook you up with him, no problem at all. So my items that I've got and is a 2003 Premier League, August 16th, Man United v Bolton Wanderers. We won the game 4-0. Is Cristiano Ronaldo's rookie ticket, which I got this year, which I was lucky enough to find, is graded 1.5, and it's also got the Manchester Rain in the top. It was obviously in someone's pocket, got a little bit wet, so I was lucky, and I thought that was one really good, authentic thing about it. And I did pay a very good price on that of a little $100. That's all I paid.
I thought it was sunny that day. I thought it was the first day of the season. It was beautiful
It might have
sunshine.
been, I'm taking it as it was rain. So unless he peed on it,
Surely it's beer.
He might have dropped his beer on it also. So it's very authentic for Manchester. So the next one I've got is it's a 1963. I am into collecting match tickets. I love match tickets. So because everything's digital these days, Paul, you're into the match ticket thing as well. Yeah. And as I said, everything's digital. Everything's digital. But my other one I've got is a 1963 FA Cup final match ticket. And I was very lucky. I think it was last week I managed to get Paddy Craren to sign it. So very lucky to get that signed. Thank Mark for doing that for me. But I think they're the new cards, the match tickets, because you just can't. Like I said, everything's digital these days, and
I've just started getting into tickets in the last 12 months as well. I love them.
Yeah.
I think they're awesome because they all have meaning. Every game that you can buy a ticket for, there's something that happened in that game, which
that's
gives
it.
you, like something to look
Tells
back
a
on.
story.
Yeah, that's it. Tells a story.
Yeah, look,
Adam
I've got.
Adam, you touched on it with the you know, it being a bit crinkly, and you get it with tickets, with old tickets, and you get it with old programs. Like in the old days before parts of Old Trafford had a roof on it, you know, you can read the match report, and it's telling you that it was the game was played in a torrential downpour, and you find the program, and it's got that little crinkly, the cover's that little bit crinkly where it clearly was folded in someone's pocket and it got wet or something like that. So you can literally taste the Manchester Rain on it. It's you know, it's really cool if you can connect with things in that way from certain events or you know, do a bit of research around the match, which I know that's something that Adam is very big on. That he'll research a game and then you know, find something out about it and then pick up the ticket or the program that relates to it. But yeah, it's cool when you can literally taste the event on the item.
So the good thing about, well, I'll let you know something about some tickets. So some tickets have the wrong date on them because the match has actually been moved. Okay, so on this ticket is the 4th of May, 1963. But the actual game was actually played, I just brought up my file, was on the 25th of May, 1963. Because in Manchester at the time, there was a big freeze in 1963. So they couldn't play the game. The pitch was frozen. Obviously, everyone's very, very cold. So that game was actually delayed by, 21 days. So That's what I love about match tickets and stuff like that. And you can actually pick up tickets as well where they actually print out the ticket before the match is even finalised. Whereas they might have, say, Manchester United v Fulham. Manchester United may have lost the game, but they've actually printed out the ticket, and it'll be a full ticket and stuff like that. So, yeah, there's so many good things about match tickets that people don't realise. It's a good way to get into collecting too, because some of the tickets aren't that dear, but if you do your homework on the ticket, a lot of the guys will drop their prices just to sell them, move them on, because tickets are coming to surface now. So I'll show you like my 99 one at a different time. But yeah, so I hope you all enjoyed that podcast. Remember, guys, like, share, subscribe, because we've had a fair few in here. Here we go, Travis. So the guy that was all that stuff that I was saying can buy, he's in here now, Travis. So he actually messaged me today and said he's got a couple of items that he wouldn't mind putting up for prizes later on for us. And I actually said to him, well, I wouldn't mind those in the collection. So
yeah,
as I always do. But yeah, so Travis is the man. He used to be a member of our supporters club, and he's moving on his collection. So yeah, so boys,
all of it.
we'll probably yeah, he's actually got scarves as well. I can put you in contact with him. He's got all little bits and pieces like golf balls and tees, and he's actually got some diaries, because when you went to games in the VIP, they would give you a diary as well, and it'd have the match detail on it, but the pages would all be blank and stuff like that. So he's got a fair few of those. He's been to Old Trafford a few times, and he's got some programs there. So if anyone's interested, I'll put you in contact with him. No problem at all. But yeah, we moved to Chelsea this weekend. I'm sure we'll organise a pod for that before the weekend, maybe Friday evening or something like that. And yeah, so remember, go and like the page, go and hit that like button here, whatever you're supposed to do. Even push your remote up if you're watching it on TV, and give us a go, because I think we're very knowledgeable and we're well read. So we love it. Tell your friends, exactly right. So, all right, boys, thank you. Thanks for coming. I'll talk to you later.
Lads.
No worries.
See you guys.
Bye-bye. See you, lads.
Thank you, Paul. You'll be on a fair bit.
Look forward to it.
See you, boys.
See ya.
Cheers.